Hi, I'm sitting on my exercise ball as I make this video, so if I roll off, you'll know why. I needed some sort of something to keep me going while I make this video, because I said if the video seems low key, low impact, low motivation, I was gonna keep it because that's how I feel. So I am, thankfully, in my week number 31, and the things that I've experienced this week are pretty much the same as they've been every week, just with a little bit more of understanding. So for instance, I've been on this journey, journaling my time, my experiences, and I've learned that if you get sick, if you don't feel well, due to, cold, it's cold and flu season, and you're just not feeling well, that really you just do the same things that you would do normally, except for me, what I did was I increased my protein even more. And that seemed to help me because a lot of people are having trouble eating on this medication, and that's understandable. But regardless, if you are in fact having trouble eating, you still have to eat. You have to eat. One of the amazing things about Mounjaro, Tirzepatide, Zepbound is that it works as your calorie intake increases. So people think, okay, this medication will help me eat less and then I'll lose weight. That's not it. The key is to match your calorie intake with what the TDEE calculator states. So if you go to the TDEEcalculator.net and you put your height and your weight, your sex in male, female, height, weight, so it's gender, height, weight, and how much you want to weigh in there, and then you subtract 500 calories from that. That's when you are following the correct plan. And then you should see the weight loss, if that's basically what you're looking to do. So for me, for instance, the moment I got on this medication, a week into the medication, I began to wonder about the maintenance portion of it, meaning I knew it was going to work. I knew I was going to lose weight. I could tell it's just something that hit you. I didn't have all of the bad side effects that people do, so maybe that helped. Everybody's different. Every person who goes on this medication is going to feel a different way about it. So for instance, my husband is diabetic. He's type 2 diabetic. I am pre-diabetic. So my feelings and my experiences were much different than his. So for instance, with his, he felt no side effects, but it began to do everything that it needed to do for his type 2 diabetes. It began to do everything that it needed to do for his CHF, began to do everything that it needed to do for his inflammation. It began to do everything that it needed to do for his triglycerides, everything. Everything that you can imagine that is considered a comorbidity, that's what it corrects in type 2 diabetics. So for pre-diabetic, people who might be pre, or the other one I can't think of right now, my borderline. For people who fall into that category, it's going to correct your A1C and any other comorbidities that you might have. And then it's going to start to work on the weight loss. So for me, I didn't experience weight loss for weeks into this, but I knew, it's hard to explain because although I wasn't losing the weight, I knew the medication was working because of how I felt. So the first month, I still ate sweets. I still ate things that I had no business eating. And then, not really no business eating, but it didn't eliminate, like, right away my desire for sweets. I love sweets. I'm a sweet girl. I love sweets. But now I eat sweets in moderation. But I think that what happens with the medication and with people are that people who are a little, I'll say, healthier, they expect it to do everything that it's supposed to do with the weight loss, and it will, but it also is still correcting those other things in your body that are wrong. So that's just my layman's terms of explaining it. I'm not a doctor, I'm not even a clinical person, so you always want to talk to your doctor, either your endocrinologist or your primary care physician or other subspecialist, obesity medicine doctor, about this medication. But when you're just on the internet looking for random people to talk about it, here I am. I've been doing this for over 30 weeks and I've learned a lot. One of the other things that I've learned, other than you're still going to get sick, you're still going to get a cold, it's not going to keep you from catching the flu. Although those things have happened to me over the course of last week, I still continued to hydrate. I still continued to eat. I still ate more protein, actually. And I drank a lot of orange juice, the simply orange juice. It's got like half the calories of regular orange juice, so I did that. And I did all the healthy things that one would normally do with supplements and vitamins. But I stayed hydrated. I just refused to not go without water. If I go without water, I get tired very easily. So one thing to keep in mind is that. Now, with the weight loss and this medication, I would suggest that you take it slow. There are many people who will just want to up their dosage as they're not seeing the weight go down, and that's totally up to you and your doctor if that's what you want. But my opinion is to kind of sort of let your weight shift. So that's one thing that my doctor told me, is that you're going to notice your weight shifting. And I see it. I see it because I do certain exercises. So I walk on the treadmill, I do the elliptical, I do the universal weights, I do the bicycle, I bounce on the exercise ball, I do squats, I do planks. There's a lot of different things I do, and because I don't do the same thing every day, although I do the weighted hula almost every day, I love that thing. Because I don't do the same thing every day, I see my body changing. So for instance, if I do weights, then I kind of notice my arms firming. If I don't do weights for a while and I move over to the, just doing the walking, then I feel less inflammation in my stomach area and in my legs and my feet and my ankles. And the same thing with the hula. When I'm moving, I'm pivoting my legs and my hips, and I'm moving my waist, and I feel the less inflammation there. So when my doctor says to me, you're going to notice your weight shifting, I'm very, very thankful for that, because I'm able to kind of control where I'm losing my weight. So I got on the scale this morning and I'm still at the 191 where I was at 2 weeks ago, where I went to almost 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything because I'll probably go back up. And I have. My weight has fluctuated over the last 3 weeks between 1 and 3 pounds. Hasn't gone less. It went to 190, and then it hasn't. I'm at 191.2 today. So tomorrow morning I could get up and I could be 190 again. But I'm not worried about just losing weight. Basically, because this is week 31, when I asked my doctor how long will I be on this medication, she said to me, you can be on it as long as you need to be. So I'm looking forward to taking my time, because I want to see my body, my weight shift. I want to see different parts of my body change. I want to see my skin move, and where it's soft, maybe it become firm, and all those things. And I just encourage you to try to do the same thing. Don't rush it. Trust the process, and take note and notice of what's going on with your body, so that when you do get to that point, and we're all going to get to the maintenance, as long as we do what we're supposed to do, when we get to the maintenance part of this journey, we'll be able to sustain it. And that is the key. That is the key. Yes, we want to sustain the weight that we're losing. So I just want to encourage you, and I hope that you, in fact, are enjoying this journey, and that you will continue on it and do the best you can. And just remember, trust the process. Okay, I'll see you again real soon.